For 80 years, official explanations for strange objects in the sky were restricted to weather balloons, to optical illusions, or fringe conspiracies. That pattern ended on May 8, 2026, when the government launched a public portal called Pursue, the Presidential Unsealing and Reporting System for UAP encounters. The Department of Defense released 162 classified files directly into the public domain. These include internal military memos and over 40 minutes of infrared tracking videos. The release was part of a transparency effort mandated by the Trump administration, requiring federal agencies to unseal records that had been restricted for decades. The Pursue portal contains multi-sensor tracking logs recorded by military hardware, providing data points that civilian observers cannot access. The United States government has officially acknowledged that unidentified anomalous phenomena are physically real, and they are actively operating inside restricted military airspace. To understand what these objects are actually doing, we have to look at the unsealed mission transcripts from the Apollo space program. These records give us observations from highly trained astronauts. During the Apollo 11 flight in 1969, Buzz Aldrin reported seeing inexplicable flashes inside the cabin and a fairly bright laser-like light source operating nearby in the vacuum of space. The unsealed files document a consistent pattern. On Apollo 12, Alan Bean recorded flashes of light sailing off into space. Jack Schmitt reported a similar anomalous flash on the lunar surface during Apollo 17. When the most extensively vetted scientists and observers in human history consistently report anomalies they cannot identify, the evidence points to something far more complex than simple technical glitches. Modern military sensors have captured these objects performing trans-medium travel. They move from the depths of the ocean and burst straight out into the sky. This diagram compares the particle density of water to air. Water is 800 times denser, creating a physical wall of resistance up the boundary. Yet military files show these objects hitting that boundary, transitioning between mediums at speeds up to 8,000 miles per hour. Striking that density barrier at hypersonic velocity should instantly crush any known material. Surviving this high-speed medium transition without suffering aerodynamic destruction mathematically defies our current understanding of material sciences and fluid dynamics. The physical impossibilities extend to how these objects maneuver in the air. In 2023, military sensors over Greece tracked a UAP executing instantaneous 90-degree and 180-degree turns while maintaining high speeds. This diagram maps an object's flight path. When an object changes direction without decelerating, it generates immense gravitational force. An instant 90-degree pivot creates a massive G-force spike at the exact turning point. The human body can only withstand a few Gs before blood stops flowing to the brain. At the gravitational loads generated by these instantaneous pivots, the blood and internal organs of a human pilot would be instantly liquefied. Even without a pilot inside, the mechanical limits of known aircraft mean a conventional airframe would shear apart under the structural stress of that maneuver. Alongside these maneuvers, the tracking data confirms these observed crafts completely lack visible propulsion systems, wings, rotors, or exhaust plumes. Because these movements violate the laws of inertia and mechanical survival, they prove that these objects cannot be operated by human pilots using any known terrestrial flight technology. The Pursue release forces an admission from the Pentagon. These objects are physically real, and the military has no scientific explanation for how they operate. This creates a two-part threat matrix for global defense. The first possibility was that a foreign adversary, such as China or Russia, is responsible for manufacturing these crafts. If that is true, an adversary has secretly mastered physics that leapfrogs centuries of American aerospace engineering, rendering current jets, pilots, and defense systems obsolete. The second possibility is harder to process. If human origin is mathematically ruled out by the physics involved, the technology must be non-human. The unsealed files show that these unexplained objects operate with total impunity, hovering over U.S. nuclear sites and restricted military installations. The May 2026 Declassification provides the physical evidence that establishes UAP existence as a matter of documented record. We now have to answer how our fundamental laws of physics are being broken
and urgently discover who or what is operating these impossible machines.